How's it going, crypto? This is Jade back with another crypto related article. This one I found through Twitter from the best person to follow on Twitter, Leonidas, right? And so this article is going over Banesco, Panama, and Scotiabank, Chile testing cross-border payments with Ripple. So the article begins. Banesco, Panama, and Scotiabank, Chile get serious about blockchain potential after running proof of concepts with Ripple. According to IUPANA, a news agency focused on how financial service peers, competitors, and clients in Latin America are using this technology, both Banesco and Scotiabank have recently run proofs of concept for cross-border payments with Ripple. Executives at the banks told IUPANA that the tests helped them identify what needs to be done to fully implement blockchain for cross-border payments and open their eyes to the potential. So Banesco, Panama, it gives your traceability and arrives directly anywhere in the world. And this was said by Rodrigo Gonzalez, the Executive Vice President for Innovation and Transformation at Banesco, Panama. On May 6, 2019, Banesco Panama announced that it had conducted a transfer with a bank in Peru, which was not named at the time. And according to this, it ran a proof of concept in mid-May, sending a single transfer from Panama to Peruvian bank Intergroup. The test run gave both Banesco and Panamanian banking regulators a better look at blockchain for cross-border payments. Gonzalez said that he was impressed by the traceability and speed of the test transfer. The regulator responded by indicating some series of steps needed to make such transfers compliant in the final system. Now we are working on a minimum viable product. So Banesco's proof of concept used the Xcurrent network for the funds transfer, seeing use of Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP as being a step further than it is currently comfortable with. Once integrated into the Ripple network, Banesco aims to initially offer blockchain-based transfers only between banks in the group. So that would be the Dominican Republic, Panama, Portugal, Puerto Rico, Spain, and Venezuela. And that's because Banesco needs to strike a deal on rates and exchange rates bilaterally with each recipient bank. So even if I am part of the Ripple ecosystem, I can just send a transfer to anyone. Pretty cool stuff, right? So again, that was the position of Banesco, Panama. Now let's see what the position of Scotia is. So the second bank to run the POC with Ripple is Scotia, and they are Scotiabank Canada was one of 12 banks in the R3 consortium to trial XRP for cross-border payments back in October of 2016. 2016, so 3 years ago now. And they wanted to use their blockchain technology to avoid intermediary banks when sending funds, something that we touched upon in many of my videos. And I'm going to take this cord out and charge. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Well, I don't even need this on because we're not listening to the video. Sorry. So they wanted to use their blockchain technology to avoid those intermediary banks because, again, as we've discussed in previous videos, that is where the actual cost is coming to most of these banks for cross-border payments. They have to pay another bank to be able to play the middleman to transfer their funds between themselves and whoever their final destination is. And sometimes there's two groups that they have to go through, not just one, right? So it gets expensive real quick the more intermediaries there are in between them. So, and this was said by Daniel Kennedy, who went on to say the correspondent banking systems add complexity and cost to funds transfers, as well as making the process slower. So what they identified was that Ripple technology works really well. The bank's technology was not ready to plug into blockchain and achieve our expected efficiencies, so they ended up having two messaging layers. The Ripple messaging layer, which is only messaging, and the bank's transfer layer for sending funds. Our transfer layer could not be replaced in this instance by blockchain. To properly take advantage of the potential of blockchain, Scotiabank needs to upgrade its payments infrastructure. So this is why Scotia says that XRP wasn't used on their end, because their infrastructure just isn't up to date enough to be able to actually integrate right now. And this is most likely why we are not seeing any real volume going through XRP right now in areas where there is regulatory clarity, because the institutions who have partnered with Ripple most likely are still trying to bring their cross-border transfer services up to par before they can even actually appropriately integrate these systems, right? So as soon as Kennedy goes on, as soon as you do that, the process becomes a lot more efficient and a lot more effective. You can start having almost one account. If you've got a small business in Chile with clients in Lima, you can deposit into an account that has the same number and it just gets transferred. But we are just not there yet. So we would like to thank the XRP community member 9x Machine X9 on Twitter for finding and sharing this news with us, and thank you very much to you and also to Leonidas for helping propagate this news article so that I could find it and share it with you, my XRP community, the XRP Martians. So this is obviously awesome news, and it's just one step further to show that we are being adopted. XRP is Ripple's technology is being adopted. It's just a matter of time until these institutions are able to appropriately integrate XRP and its XRapid payments solution, money transfer solution, into their network, right? As of right now, they can only utilize the current messaging system because most of them just, again, they don't have the appropriate tech and infrastructure in place to actually monopolize on XRapid yet. And then obviously we got the bit from Banesco saying that they just aren't comfortable using XRapid yet. But this was also information that was based upon back in May, when these individuals didn't have any real competition for XRapid yet. There was no announcement that Ripple was buying up a massive chunk of shares in MoneyGram to potentially push the company to become the first to actually integrate XRapid, right? And once again, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face, it's always the first step that's the hardest to take. Nobody wants to be first. Well, we got the first. It was some no-name bank nobody knew about. Money transfer service nobody knew about. But now we got our first big name, globally recognized institution, MoneyGram. I don't know many people that don't know of MoneyGram, at least in America and Europe, right? I'm sure most people in many Asian nations are well aware of MoneyGram. So this is big news for us. This is just one more little notch in our belt that we really are on the verge of mass adoption. It's just going to take time for these systems to integrate. That Rome was not built in a day, ladies and gentlemen, and neither will the Ripplenet ecosystem be put online, just one day. It's all switch flipped, right? The switch flip is going to be, like when you have a leak spring forth from your dam and that water starts to cause erosion, and so more water starts pumping out until eventually the dam bursts, right? But we don't even see really more than just a few little springs of trickles of water running down on the wrong side of the wall right now, the wrong side of our dam. So again, patience is a virtue for a reason. Patience is the one thing that is rewarded more than any other when it comes to investing in any market. Digital assets are no exception, especially because they're an emerging market and we are so early, right? So as always, if you've enjoyed my content, please be sure to hit that like. If you're new, hit that subscribe. And if you want to be kept up to date with all XRP and crypto-related content that I'm putting out, be sure to ring that bell. And I can't wait to see you and the rest of my XRP Martians in my next video on Mars.